Hello everyone and welcome to Aquarium Plant Index. Today we are going to be talking about Riccardia Chamedryfolia. Now this is often referred to as Riccardia moss, but this aquatic plant is in fact not a moss, it is a liverwort. Although mosses and liverworts share a lot of similar characteristics, some of the main differences are the way that they reproduce and how they attach themselves to things like wood or rock. Put simply, liverworts generally have an absent or a unicellular rhizoid, and a rhizoid is a tiny root-like structure that grows on the bottom of the plant. And it controls things like water absorption, and it also controls how it anchors itself, as mentioned, to wood or rock. Whereas moss is usually, but not always, a multicellular rhizoid. Now, Ricardia, unlike moss, has a flat, sprawling growth habit that often forms in like layered mats as it spreads. And this type of growth from a plant is known as thalloid. So thalloid plants lack complex vascular structures like true root systems or stems or leaves. But it is this simple thallus form that allows Ricardia to grow in such a distinctive way that gives it that natural aged textured look that looks really striking in an aquascape. So it's native to the damp forests of southeastern Asia, but it is now generally found across the world, but it was originally from Asia. So Riccardia Chamedryfolia can also be known as pellia moss or coral moss, and in the aquascaping world we generally call it coral moss, and it's because of its dense branch and growth pattern that kind of resembles tiny corals. The colour is usually a deep green, and that can be intensified under highlighting. But the leaves aren't true leaves, they're actually flat lobes of tissue, and that gives the plant the unique look. It stays generally quite low, and it never really exceeds a couple of centimetres. It is classed as a medium category plant, but it is fairly undemanding and it is quite an easy plant to grow. It does do best in low to moderate lighting. Intense lighting can actually trigger algae, more specifically hair algae, so it's better to keep it, as I say, under more low to moderate lighting. It can be grown in a low-tech setup, so CO2 isn't strictly necessary. However, the addition of CO2 will definitely speed up the growth of this plant because it is otherwise quite slow. So planting it is pretty simple. It comes in a tissue culture form, so you can just rinse off the gel and you can either wedge or glue it into cracks and crevices of the hardscape. It is quite small and it can be quite fiddly, so it's best to just plant little dots of it here and there, and eventually over time they will just find the way and grow over the hardscape or the rock or other elements of your aquarium. But as I say, it's quite slow growing, so patience is key, but it's definitely worth it. But due to its slow growth rate, maintenance is really easy. You can trim it to just keep it more compact, or you can pull parts of it away and plant them in other areas of your aquarium. Horizon Aquatics, we are big fans of Riccardia Chamedryfolia, and if you ask any of us which plant is a must-have to have in your aquarium, I think we'd all agree that Riccardia Chamedryfolia is one of those plants. It brings a timeless, aged look to any aquascape immediately, and it just contrasts beautifully with other shades of green and other hardscape elements of your aquarium. So it's definitely one to try. Let us know in the comments if you tried Riccardia Chamedryfolia and what do you think of it. If you've enjoyed this video and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit that like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.